White Sox baseball on Chicago Sports Network is presented by Toyota. Visit your local Chicagoland Toyota dealer or Toyota.com today. Let's go places. By Davis Law Firm, your Chicago lawyer. By Prevagen, made for your brain. And by Wintrust. Different approach, better results. That's Wintrust. Visit wintrust.com/here to learn more. White Sox playing their best baseball of the season, currently on a 4-game winning streak that is tied for the Braves, the longest active in Major League Baseball. That's because on any given night, it is a different hero. It could be Miguel Vargas. It could be Chase Majoff. It could be Munetaka Murakami. Everybody has been providing to this offensive power, and the White Sox look to make it 5 in a row and complete this sweep over the Royals here in the finale tonight. What's up, everybody? Welcome inside the booth alongside Steve Stone. I'm John Schriffen. All right, we can talk about what this offense has done, but don't forget about the pitching. The pitching has been really good as of late, specifically Anthony Kay. He is a guy who is back on track.
Going to the mound tonight after 2 very good starts, and he's hoping for some offensive support. Anthony Kay, the last couple times out, 10 innings, 10 hits, but the ERA of 180, 10 strikeouts, only 3 walks. The changeup has been just outstanding. He's looking for more of the same here as the Sox look for the sweep. Keep your eye on Derek Hill. I think he's going to have a big night tonight. He's been doing a great job recently, but the story will be Kay, and can he take it deep in the ball game? We shall see.
Coming up, Sox are looking for the sweep. Steve, did you bring your broom to the ballpark?
I did indeed.
Get it out tonight, because the White Sox looking for their first sweep at home over the Royals since May of 2023. Let's get it. First pitch. It's up next. Bring him out. Bring him out. Anthony Kay gets the ball to start this finale against the Royals as the White Sox are looking for the sweep tonight. They are red hot, looking to make it 5 wins in a row. Heading into the big weekend, not trying to overlook this team as the Cubs are on the horizon.
No, this is not a game that you can overlook anybody, because anybody can put a hurting on you. And the Sox always have had trouble with Kansas City, but not this year. They've played tough and tight games, and this year they have the lead in the season series.
Let's take a look at the visiting starting lineup for the Kansas City Royals. It is Maikel Garcia at the top, Bobby Witt Jr., Lane Thomas in the 3-hole, Salvador Perez, Lofton, Pasquantino, Marte Collins, and Kyle Isbell. He gets the start in center field. Anthony
Kay to the mound. And the last time out, the changeup was great. He's on for his 7th start, 9th appearance, ERA 4.89. He probably would like to walk a few less. He's not normally a strikeout pitcher, but he has strikeout stuff at times. So the hard hit rate at 44%, he'll work on that by throwing his 4-seamer first and foremost, backed up by the sweeper, the cutter, the sinker, the changeup at 15%. That usage is going up. Don't look for too many sliders. And we'll take a look at the defense and how Will is going to line them up this beautiful evening for baseball in Chicago. It's Randall, Derek, and Jared in the outfield left to right with Miguel, Luis on Hill, Chase, and Munetaka. Edgar Caro's got the plate, largely because he is a switch hitter, a little stronger from the right side to face Bubic. And that is the weather. It's presented by Four Seasons Heating, Air Conditioning, Plumbing, and Electric. 62 degrees, humidity 51%, and the wind. It'll be a factor early. It'll die down as it gets later, but the wind now is blowing right in at the Royal dugout. There you look at Ben May. Call strikes 5% above Major League average. Down in the zone. We like umpires that call it above Major League average.
Maikel Garcia, he is in the box. Anthony Kay on the mound. He is ready. He fires off the first one. And the pitch is fouled away into the seats. There have been some very close games. The first 2 games of this series have both been decided by just 1 run. 6-5 ball games, each won by the White Sox. Off the end of the bat, this one will roll foul as Murakami touches it.
Bobby Witt Jr. is usually pretty tough to deal with. He hits behind Garcia. They hit 1-2 in the batting order. But right now Witt is on a heater. He's hitting everything in sight, and when that happens, and we were told that it usually happens about 3 times a year when very few people can get him out. So the key will be get the people out around him and make sure that he doesn't come to bat with too many people on base.
Oh, 0-2 pitch here from Anthony Kay. It's amazing, just a little shift on the rubber from Kay, more towards that first base side, gives him a different angle of attack, and it has really helped him his last 2 outings.
I think it helped him with the changeup to right-hand hitters, because last time out it was great. It's been very good recently.
Ground ball, and that one will make its way into right field. So Maikel Garcia, a single to start this one here tonight. Well, let's take a look at the game so far played between the White Sox and the Royals. The first 6 games decided by 2 runs or fewer. White Sox 1 more run scored than the Royals to start this series. Unbelievable.
Every team in the Central still believes they've got a very good shot to get to the playoffs. That's how much balance there is in the American League Central.
There's Mr. Everything, Bobby Witt Jr. What he's done through 43 games, batting .306. Lines this one up in the center field as Chris Conroy, second base ump, had to get out of the way of that one. Garcia going first to third, and the Royals are threatening here to start this game.
This was a changeup, and it looks like Witt was looking for it because it wasn't a bad pitch. It was on the outside corner, maybe a touch higher than Anthony would have wanted it. But runners at first and third, and with Thomas up, the Sox will gladly trade the double play for the run scored if they can get the ground ball.
Couple of singles to start this game here for the Royals as Kay looks for his first out. Lane Thomas batting .200 this season, gets the start in right field tonight. And the air to right center field, it is Hill. He will make the catch as Maikel Garcia tags and will score from third. So the Royals strike first, 1-0 here to start this game.
Thomas gets the job done. He stays out of the double play. And a good play by Hill. You get the ball into second base and try to keep Witt right there until he decides he wants to run. Because Salvi Perez also is an inviting double play target.
And on the hands, that pitch is fouled away by Perez. He is back behind the plate tonight. Had a few nagging injuries, so they've been managing his workload, but he's a guy who keeps telling them, I want to catch.
At his age, though, he's got to DH sometimes because you got to take some of the pressure off those legs. And that was a good pitch by Anthony because he got inside. It makes the changeup that much better.
Perez turning 36 years old on Sunday. Clearly the leader of this Kansas City team. Deep breath from Anthony Kay as he's trying to establish his rhythm here to start this game. And he'll go over to first.
Looked like the last pitch, Witt was just measuring Kay to see what kind of a lead and a jump he could get. 2-1 is usually a good pitch to run.
Stays put And a challenge from Edgar Kara, our first one tonight.
Looked like a backdoor cutter, tried to shave off the outside corner.
ABS is powered by T-Mobile.
That one had the whole plate.
This is a strike. Chicago retains.
Edgar's been pretty good at that. That is a huge difference. 3-1, 2-2. You see overturned by the fielders. Those are the catchers. 59%. They got the best look at everything.
There goes Bobby Witt Jr. and the pitch is fouled away.
Salvi looks at Edgar and says, "He okay?" Because he can relate to that. Perez has been around so long that probably been hit like this 500 times, and that's right in the middle of the mask.
Ooh. You know, credit to Edgar Kara, even though he's struggling at the plate, that has not impacted any other part of his game, especially defensively. He has been a great catcher so far this season. Two.
So far, Anthony hasn't been able to dial in that outside corner with his changeup.
Anthony Kay beat the Mariners last Saturday. Looking to keep it rolling here tonight. 3-2. Got him upstairs. First punch out for Kay.
Now that's the Salvi we know. Usually if it stays in the ballpark, he's going to be swinging. And this one is way out of the zone. So it's a four-seam fastball. He rushes it up there to a guy with a nose-to-toe strike zone.
So out number 2 now, as Nick Lofton steps in. There goes the runner. Thrown out from Caro. And Bobby Witt Jr. another stolen base.
He just gets such a good jump. And that was a steal all the way because he never looked back for contact. So the sign, and Lofton read it, was he's going, don't swing. 13th stolen base this year. I think he's been caught twice.
So runner in scoring position with 2 outs in his first inning. And that one's going to hit Lofton. Matt Quattrero, the manager for the Royals, is going to come out as Lofton still down on the ground.
Hit him right on the right ankle. That was good solid contact. You wear the shin guard on the other foot because you foul off the ball off that lead foot. This one hits the back foot and there's nothing you can do about it.
And that's that different angle we're now talking about from Kay trying to get inside to righties.
Well, it works really well for the changeup. The question will be, if he wants to stay in that same spot, will he be able to spot his breaking ball inside to the right-handers? Because if you can't establish the inside corner to a right-hand hitter, they will hurt you eventually just looking middle away.
So a smile from Nick Lofton, and now a little grimace as he makes his way down to first. And one of 2 left-handed bats will step in, Vinny Pasquantino. Second on this Royals team with 21 runs batted in this season. Good breaking ball to start the at-bat. Strike 1 here to Pasquantino. Kay did beat the Royals in Kansas City back on April 9th. It was a 2-0 White Sox win. Part of the reason why Will Venable decided to switch around the starting rotation. Kay going tonight, Sean Burke getting extra rest. He will go tomorrow.
Yeah, I do believe that Will feels that a right-hander against the Cubs is preferable to a left-hander. And you can use some extra rest on occasion also.
0-2. Got him upstairs. 2 strikeouts in the first. White Sox bats coming up. Let's take a look at the starting lineup for your Chicago White Sox with a lefty on the mound. A little different look. We take a look at the OPS versus left-handed pitching this season. You would think Mydroth Vargas will have some big games here tonight. Edgar Caro, his first start behind the plate in a while. Hill, Acuna, and Kelnick in right.
There's a look at Chris Bubic, one of the better pitchers that Kansas City has, on for his 9th start, ERA of 3.5. Strikeout to walk ratio is okay. Hard hit percentage is pretty good at 37.9. We'll show you in a moment just exactly what he throws. And this is how he's going to use his stuff. The four-seamer, which he loves at 42%, backed up by a very good change. Then the sweeper, the sinker, and don't look for too many sliders.
So instead of Antonacci, it is Chase Mydroth leading things off. His 11-game hit streak ended last night, but he has been playing really well in the 5-hole. Gets the start at the top of the order here tonight. Slashes this one to Pasquantino, and there's one away.
Let's take a look at the defense and how they line up behind Bubic. It's Collins, Isbell, and Thomas in the outfield left to right, with Garcia, Witt Jr., Lofton, and Pasquantino in the infield. Salvi Perez has got the plate. We told you about Bubic. This is a big bounce back year for him. He had a lot of injuries during the course of his fairly young career, but now he's 100%.
Inside corner, strike one here to Miguel Vargas. Against left-handed pitching this season, he has an OPS of 1.180. That is second in Major League Baseball. Minimum of 40 plate appearances.
He's just been swinging it real well lately. It doesn't appear that he's fooled by much of anything these days.
Fouls that one off himself, and he goes down.
That was a slider that got him solidly, but it looks like that shin guard helped him a lot. And without that, he'd still be jumping around.
One ball, 2 strikes. I asked Miguel today if there was anything he's been doing at the plate recently, and he said really the only big swing change he made was the one we've all talked about last year, April 23rd, raising his hands. He said he's just been kind of cementing that swing, and that's been helping him. Even though this offense struggled early, Vargas said everyone stayed with the plan, being consistent, and the results are now showing up for the Sox. Swing and a miss. There's 2 down.
This is a breaking ball up. It's probably not where Bubic wanted to throw it, but it was very effective. Now you see where he sets up on the mound, completely different than Anthony Kay. He's on the extreme third base side. He feels that he can get it inside to the right-handers much better from that setup.
Big swing from Munetaka Murakami. As we take a look at Bubic setting up on the rubber.
So this is going to be for later in the game, but with 2 left-handed starters, they're stepping almost in the same spot. So when right-handers come out of the bullpen, they have to manicure that landing area, or you could lose your balance and the delicate balance you need for control.
And it's amazing that they're landing in the same spot when they're starting on the extreme ends of the rubber, as Bubic really throws across his body.
Yeah, I mean, there's just one spot that both pitchers are wearing out. But there's a lot of clay on this mound. Roger Bossert, who does everything well, is very good with the mounds, and you can see.
Murakami enters play tonight, tied for third in Major League Baseball in terms of home runs. 15 on the season, trailing Kyle Schwarber with 17, Aaron Judge with 16. Byron Buxton has now joined the picture. He is tied with Murakami as well for 15.
All he ever has to do is stay healthy. The numbers will always be there. He's that talented a guy.
Breaking ball stays upstairs. Count is now full. Bubic has always been tough against the White Sox. Enters play tonight with 17 scoreless innings pitched against the White Sox. That includes his start earlier this season in Kansas City. (3-2) and another one fouled away. In that start on April 10th, Bubic struck out a career best 11. So the White Sox are going to have to change up their approach here tonight.
Well, he not only works in and out, but he works up and down. He changes the hitter's eye level quite a bit.
3-2. Outside, ball 4 here to Murakami. That White Sox walk is presented by IDOT. You drive, you text, you pay. It's not a game.
So Bubic had faced Mooney 3 times, struck him out 3 times. But he refused to expand his strike zone, and he keeps this first inning alive and adds to the pitch total of a pretty good left-hander. He's most unhappy with himself for that walk because he's handled Murakami very well. Now he's got to face Grichuk, who's been swinging it pretty well recently. Pitch count once again being temperamental.
White Sox picked up Randall Grichuk when the Yankees released him because of his ability to hit lefties over the course of his career. This season versus righties, Grichuk is hitting .125. Versus lefties, his batting average is .250. Think they're excited?
They're very happy. An early souvenir.
Oh, that's how you do it. You give it away to a youngster and make them a fan for life.
That's pretty good. Look at that smile.
This one is grounded foul. Twenty pitches already for Bubic here in this first inning. Murakami taking his lead on at first with 2 outs. Grichuk, a blast into left field. Back it goes. Get out! Randall Grichuk, his 3rd homer of the season, and the Sox take the lead here in this first inning.
It started with 2 outs and nobody on, and the big walk to Murakami sets up the 2-run homer. Time now for the Lexus. Experience amazing home run replay. This is not a bad pitch. This is out away, and Randall just turns on it. And even with the wind blowing straight in, this one cuts through the wind and gives the Sox the lead.
Edgar Caro sends this one down the line and foul. With that lead, it is now 15 straight games the White Sox have led in a ball game, tying a 15-game streak back in 2021. And once again, another name providing some pop to this offense.
Well, credit the front office here with going out when Grichuk was designated for assignment by the Yankees. They realized his whole career he's hit left-handers pretty well. The one thing the Sox did need was some power from the right side, and Grichuk has been all of that.
It's been Drew Romo. It's been Derek Hill. It's been Jared Kelenic. And here Randall Grichuk providing a lift to this offense in this first inning. One-two.
John, you got 26 moves to make your roster in the major leagues. And the key is not the stars, because anybody can play the stars. I mean, you got Bobby Witt Jr., he plays. The key is assembling the guys that are going to come off the bench, and you know they can sit out for 3 days and have a good stroke. Grichuk is one of those guys against the left-handed pitcher. So assembling your lineup on a daily basis is a product of who the front office is able to get for you. Sox have made some gambles, brought in some players, and Grichuk fits in perfectly, as we've seen a couple of times this year.
You know, Derek Hill told me something earlier today when I asked him what makes this team so special. He said it doesn't matter if you've played 10 games in a row or you haven't played in your last 10 games. Everybody on the bench is rooting for the guy on the field to perform at their best. He said you don't see that. For everyone to be that selfless, he said that is what makes this team so unique, and that's why it's so much fun to play right now.
And one of the things that will probably go unseen is a close take by Murakami to walk and set it up for Grichuk.
2-2 here to Caro. Breaking ball lands in there, called strike 3. Randall Grichuk, the big blast in the first, and the Sox with an early lead.
He got a breaking ball up and out over the plate, and bye-bye.
It's emo night. Even Southpaw's loving it. Welcome back. White Sox with an early lead. Top of the second we go. This half inning is brought to you by Wintrust. Randall Grichuk providing that 2-run home run takes his position in left field, as Anthony Kay now working with a lead on the mound. Marte shows bunt, but he pulls it back, ball one. Starling Marte, he has played really well to start this season. 308 batting average through his first 16 games.
Well, he showed bunt, but I don't think he's going to bunt. He's been a slugger throughout his career. Loves to hit against the lefties. All he wanted to do was pull in Vargas, so maybe he can try to slap the ball by him.
Drops that bunt, but it rolls foul.
Thought he'd take the opportunity to do it, and the execution wasn't there. So he's in a 1-2 hole.
Kay facing the bottom 3 in the order here in the second inning. One-two pitch. Just doesn't look like Kay is completely comfortable on the mound to start this game tonight.
No, so far he doesn't have a rhythm and doesn't have good command. The was an interesting at bat to Marte because he went inside with a fastball but missed, which set up the changeup away, and unfortunately he missed with that one. Now he finds himself with a full count.
Three-two from Kay. Missed outside, ball 4 to start this second inning. Let's go to Brooke for her scoop from the clubhouse.
Yeah, guys, well, you're talking about Anthony Kay here, but Will Venable told me that they're going to have to piece together this bullpen here tonight based off of usage over the last day or so. He said some of those back-end late inning guys that you're used to seeing, they're not going to be available. So let's take a look at the workload over the last 6 or 7 days. Will said that they feel pretty good about the overall coverage, but some length from Anthony Kay, it wouldn't hurt, you guys.
Certainly heading into a big series this weekend. White Sox want Anthony Kay to try to go 5 at least here tonight.
Well, if they could get the 18 outs, which is 6 innings, they would be dancing in the streets.
Speaking of crosstown, if you're thinking about coming out to the rate this weekend, you better act fast because tickets are sold out for Saturday. The way it's trending, it will be a sellout potentially for Friday and Sunday. So make your plans. Get on over to the south side this weekend. Popped up Murakami in foul territory, and he makes the catch in front of the railing.
Good job of Mune staying right with it. He takes a look, sees where he is, and knows he's got just enough room.
As much attention has been given to what he's done at the plate, he has put in so much time defensively, making this full-time shift from third to first base.
And not the easiest transition, because you have a lot of responsibilities at first that you don't have at third. But he's gotten better from the start of the season till today.
Justin Jersley does an incredible job with the infielders, and a lot of the work he's done with Murakami is his positioning, just getting him comfortable to stray off the bag a little bit and letting him know with all the drills that they do that he can get back to first base in time to receive the throw.
There's another aspect of it, and that is he's got to know every pitch the positioning of Meidroth at second base, because that depends on how far you can stray to your right. First baseman will get in trouble on occasion moving too far to his right, and the pitcher can't get to the bag in time, and the second baseman is not in the play.
Certainly a work in progress there, but he puts in the work every single day to make sure that he is prepared. Bottom of the order, Kyle Isbell. Take a seat. Strikeout number 3 tonight here for Kay.
There you see the breaking ball, and it just freezes Isbell. This has a good portion of the middle of the plate. Ben May rings him up. Isbell probably thinking, how in the world did I take that one?
Michael Garcia singled and scored. What's the adjustment this second time around now for Kay against Garcia?
But what he's thinking about is he wants to make sure it ends here and doesn't get to Witt. But Garcia's been a pretty decent contact hitter. What he wants to make sure he can do is something that hasn't come to him early enough, which is establish the inside part of the plate. Garcia thought he got somewhat of a very hittable slider inside, but he fouled it back.
Michael Garcia, 26 years old, his 5th year in Major League Baseball, all with the Royals. Sends this one down the line in right field. It is Kelnick, and he makes the catch to end this top of the second inning. Sox a 1-run lead.
The farm is moving up because so is Caleb Boniber. MLB Pipeline has re-ranked the top 100 prospects, and the guy who has jumped the second most spots on the top 100 list It's Caleb Bonham, now the #1 prospect in the White Sox system. You know the rest of the names, the national rankings right there. Guys, it's impressive to see what Bonham's done, especially with the power swing down at Winston-Salem this year.
Caleb Bonham, Braden Montgomery hit his first career home run in AAA last night.
There's another wave of talent coming.
Bottom of the second we go. White Sox with a 2-1 lead here over the Royals. Last 3 wins for the White Sox have all been 1-run ball games. On the ground as Lofton takes his time to make the throw, and there is one away. How about Derek Hill, the impact he made on the game Tuesday night?
Well, not only the pinch home run, I mean, that was certainly big, but this play leading off the 9th inning was just outstanding. He ends it with this catch. It was quite a night, and I'm thinking he's going to have a pretty good night tonight. Getting a chance to start and play center field.
We can all tell that the vibes are very different this season. When you look at the team in the dugout, how much fun they're having. Derek Hill said he notices the fans in the stands. He said everybody is bumping every single night. It just feels different. So I asked him when that started. He said, you can go back to the beginning of spring training. He said when we all reported to camp, there was a different feel. He said we were looking around, making sure and seeing all the signings that were being made. Murakami, the big signing. Sir Anthony Dominguez, a big signing in the bullpen. He said, okay, we got some big boys now. There are some moves to be made, and that's where the excitement he felt like started for this team.
Well, certainly the culture was put together by the entire staff in spring training, and then just about everybody bought into it. And we're seeing the results now.
That goes through the legs of Bubic. As Lofton makes the throw, Hill retired for out number 2. Brooke.
Yeah, guys, well, back to Derek Hill and that homer the other night. He told me that he journals after every single at-bat, something that he started 4 or 5 years ago, just to see how pitchers are attacking him and what the results are. And so he went back to his notebook after he found out he was facing Matt Strom and looked at his notes, and he actually lined out to Bobby Witt the last time he faced him earlier this season. And so his note, it said something down and in, look for a slider. He said make the pull early and get out in front. And of course, that homer that he had was a slider down and in. Salvador Perez, he even said after the game, he goes, Matt Strom's had a lot of success with that pitch. I don't know how he got a hold of it, but just great to see his preparation paying off for him, guys.
He's a guy who's not an everyday starter, but when his name is called, Derek Hill has always been ready for the White Sox this season.
That's why the guys who aren't starters have to work just as hard, and maybe in some instances harder than the starters, because you got to keep yourself in rhythm. And the rhythm is both defensive and offensive. I mean, swinging the bat is one thing, but if you're going to come in and play a critical position as Hill is today in center field, you got to know where most of these guys from the Royals are going to hit the ball if they make good contact.
Acuna grounds this one up the middle. Lofton making every play this inning, and that'll do it for the second. Sox up 1.
We've got 2 left-handers who land in the same spot. It's pretty amazing because Bubic throws across his body. Anthony Kay opens up the front side a bit and has a more conventional delivery. It works well for both pitchers. It's personal preference. And we'll see what happens later on, as that's a good start. A good hard slider down and in.
Anthony Kay starts off this 3rd inning against Bobby Witt Jr. Broken bat. Kay fielding his position, the flip over, 1 away.
Very good pitch. He got right in on the hands. He established that he can go in with the breaking ball, then went inside for the second time with the fastball, and Witt could do nothing with it. 94 on the hands, out of the strike zone, but because it was strike 1, Witt couldn't afford to take it.
That bat is shattered, but it goes right to Vargas. And there's 2 quick outs here in this 3rd inning.
Pitch counts at 40, and if you can get out of this at bat with Perez, retire him, you can keep the pitch count down, and then you start thinking at least about 6.
There's a great article about Salvador Perez this past week on MLB.com by the beat writer for the Royals, Ann Rogers. And she talked about the influence that Salvador Perez's mom had on his game growing up. She worked 12 hours, and he lived most of the time with his grandmother so that his mom could provide for the family in Venezuela. So when he got older, became a big and famous big league catcher, he wanted to do something special for her. Her favorite team is the Leones del Caracas, the team he plays in winter ball. So he played for them this past season as a nod to his mother, just so she could watch him play in person in Venezuela. As he talks about his work ethic in the article, his mom working long hours just to provide for the family, and that's why he is a grinder to this day here in Major League Baseball.
He's thinking about hitting the ball out of the ballpark because that's what he does with 2 out, nobody on.
3 balls and a strike. He will deliver this one into left field. So the first hit of the game here for Salvador Perez. Top 3 this half inning. It is brought to you by Hyundai. So Anthony Kay rubs up the baseball to regroup on the mound. Nick Lofton, he was hit by a pitch his first time up as Anthony Kay was trying to work inside, hitting his back leg.
One of the things he doesn't have to worry about is Perez trying to steal a base. So keep the concentration on Lofton.
On the ground, this is Acuna at short, goes to a knee to make the play. A good inning here from Anthony Kay. Welcome back. It is time to look at our live lines presented by Circus Sports. Sports betting the way it should be. We take a look at the run total for tonight's game. Steve, what do you think? Over under is set at 8.
To me, it seems like under looks like a good play, but of course can't really do that once the game is on. But there was some explosion in the first inning for both teams.
Well, they came dressed in character. It is emo night here at Rate Field. Oh, I like that gold Sox jacket. Pretty sharp.
That's a nice one.
Jared Kelenic leads things off for the Sox. 9-1-2 coming to the plate here in this third inning. Kelenic a line to center, and Isbell makes the adjustment as he tracks that one down.
I'm not sure he saw that ball all the way. He got a decent jump on it, and then it looks like it was fooling him. This one was moving to his left. You see it there, and for him, he was pretty fortunate to make that catch.
So the lineup turns over here to Chase Mydroth. Lined out to first base his first time up.
Chase's job here is simply to get on base, and although he has hit some home runs lately, tonight in the one spot especially, he's a table setter.
Inside, a 4-pitch walk. It is time for American Family Insurance Home Protection. We take a look at the White Sox during this homestand. Started against the Mariners, and now a 4-1 record, 3 one-run wins. And take a look at the runs per game and 10 home runs. That is tied for first in Major League Baseball over these last 5 games.
That's really a testament to the bullpen when you start to be able to win one-run games. It's something the last few years the Sox didn't do well. This year the bullpen has been much improved, and the offense never gives up on anything. So even if they're down in the game, they believe they're going to come back and get it done. And especially recently, they're getting it done quite a bit.
So far this season, the White Sox are 8-5 in one-run ball games, but you talked about it hasn't been good over the past few seasons. The past 3 seasons, they had the worst win percentage in Major League Baseball in one-run games, 47-95. That's a .331 win percentage.
And it's a time clock violation. Rez comes out and says, well, don't worry about it. I mean, it's still 2-1. We're okay.
The next closest team to the White Sox over the last 3 years in one-run games were the Twins. 56-74, a .431 win percentage. That's 100 points higher than the White Sox. Just goes to show you how far they trailed in close games the last 3 years. But it's fun because anywhere you look, whether it be starting pitching, bullpen, the offense, close games, Will Venable has this team playing a completely different brand of baseball this year. Two-two here to Vargas. Empty hole on the right side, and he shoots it into right field. Meidroth stops at second. First hit of the night here for Miguel Vargas.
That was really a good job of hitting, because the first time up he struck out on mostly low pitches. This time he gets a changeup, only it's in the middle of the plate. Big hole on the right side with Lofton playing up the middle and Pasquantino having to hold on Meidroth. And for a guy who can hit the ball out of the park, that was really good bat control.
Crowd is starting to buzz as Munetaka Murakami steps in, takes that first pitch, strike one. His last home run was Saturday in the series against Seattle. As the White Sox are in the midst of their longest homestand of the season, 9 games, 10 days, which will all end this weekend with the Crosstown Series.
I think Bubic is figuring out that although he's handled Monet very well this year, he's not going to swing at pitches out of the zone. And that was that key walk with 2 outs and nobody on in the first inning that set the stage for Grichuk.
He's being very careful to Murakami as that one misses outside, ball 3. There's the man who gave the White Sox a 2-1 lead. Grichuk waits on deck.
That one might have had the top of the zone, and it did.
Runners on at first and second with 1 out in this 3rd inning. Here's the payoff. And then ball 4, bases loaded.
So Bubic is having some uncharacteristic wildness problems. Normally he gets just about everything over the plate, but not so to this point.
White Sox fans, the Crosstown Series kicks off tomorrow at Rate Field. Grab your friends and family and head to Rate Field Friday, May 15th through Sunday, May 17th. Do not miss out. To purchase your Crosstown Series tickets, visit whitesox.com/tickets. There are some available for Friday and for Sunday. I believe it's just standing room only left for Saturday.
It's going to be a wonderful and electric weekend. And Brian Sweeney, the pitching coach, has had his say. And we can only speculate on what he said, but it might be, remember what you did last time to Grichuk? Don't do it again. Because he hit a 2-run homer last time to give the Sox the lead.
Big smile from Grichuk as he steps in the box. His career at the bases loaded, .313 batting average and 2 home runs. First one misses up, ball 1.
Bubic is starting to get under the changeup. And then it can't go down at all and usually stays up a lot higher than any pitcher would like.
Grichuk slashes this one into right center field. It's going to get down. Mydroth scores. Vargas, he is hustling around. He will touch the plate. The White Sox take a 4-1 lead. All the runs have been driven in tonight by Randal Grichuk.
This time he gets a fastball that's on the inside part of the plate. With an inside-out swing, he drives it into right center field. So far, it's Grichuk night at the ballpark. Got to feel pretty happy about that. 4 runs driven in and 2 walks, 2 hits in this inning.
Edgar Caro is a guy who has been working hard behind the scenes, trying to figure things out. So because of the struggles he's been going through, flew in his personal hitting coach here to Chicago and has been working with him ever since Monday, every single day, to try to figure it out. So one of the things they analyzed is that he just hasn't been himself at the plate this year because he's chasing a little more than we saw last year out of him, and his timing has just been off at the plate.
Don Tumpane said yes, he did go around. It was a toss-up of a call, and it went Bubic's way.
0-2, and Caro will go down looking.
Second strikeout and second time he went down looking. So last thing a hitter can do is just think too much in the batter's box. You put away all the thoughts of mechanics and just look for the baseball, and that time it was completely in the zone.
Two outs. Andrew Benintendi takes a big hack but fouls off the first one. Benny a ground out to second base back in the second inning.
We're not through the third inning, and it'll be pitch number 64 on the way for Bubic.
White Sox really made him work in that first inning. 30 pitches.
So far this inning, 24 and counting.
One ball, 2 strikes to count here to Benny. That is how a veteran will spoil a tough pitch. Just stick out the bat and live to see another day.
He knew it was too close to take, but also in a spot where you couldn't do anything with it. Matt Quatrero not very happy with what's happening here this evening early.
1-2. What he's seeing is his starting pitcher rack up a lot of pitches, which means the bullpen will get some early work here if things don't change around. White Sox with 3 hits off the starter Bubic, but Randall Grichuk has made him pay. Caught by Pasquantino. That will end the threat, but what a night for Randall Grichuk already. A 2-run shot in the first, drives in 2 more here in the third. Yeah, that smile's going to stick on his face, I would think, for quite some time the rest of this night. Back this half inning is brought to you by Toyota. Inside pitch that'll brush Vinny Pasquantino off the dish. Take a look at the numbers for Anthony Kay this season versus left-handed batters. Opponents OPS just .217.
The first time up, he set him up with that breaking ball you just saw, but wiped him out with a high fastball. That was ending the first inning. Against left-handers, Anthony has been dominant.
Pasquantino normally hits in the 3-hole versus righties. They drop him down to the 6-hole here versus lefties. And he pops this one up into shallow right field. Kelenic trotting in, and one away to start this 4th inning. Time now for a message from Echo.
It's time to go yard. Echo, power on and on.
You always say every night is different for a starting pitcher, and you could tell Anthony Kay was just kind of not the most comfortable on the mound the first 2 innings. But it does feel like he's starting to settle into this ball game nicely now.
Well, he's starting to be able to get the inside strikes to right-handers that he wasn't able to get early. He gave up back-to-back hits to the first 2 hitters and gave up just 1 lone run in that first inning. First time up, he walked Marte to lead off the 2nd inning, but was able to get out of it.
Misses with the first 3 here to Starling Marte. Royals with 3 hits so far off Kay tonight. Good breaking ball there.
This is a pitch he's been trying to establish all night to Marte. That sweeping breaking ball that starts off the plate outside, winds up off the plate inside. It's a tough pitch to lay off for a right-hand hitter.
Got him swinging. From 3-0 to a strikeout for Anthony Kay.
That's strikeout number 4 for Anthony. And he got him to expand that zone. 4-seam fastball at 96 off the plate inside, and quickly 2 up 2 down. Collins says it hit him, and apparently Ben May will agree with that.
So Will Venable says no challenge on my part, as that'll be the 2nd hit batter tonight for Anthony Kay.
That just barely, grazed the pants. If you're going to get hit, it's probably the best way to do it.
So with Collins on at first, 2 down for Kyle Isbell. Seventh hit batter so far this season for Anthony Kay, second most in Major League Baseball.
Collins will run on occasion, but he doesn't run well. He's swiped 2 bags, been caught 3 times. This is a situation where Matt Quatrero probably won't run him, only because I don't think he wants to lead off with Isbell if he's thrown out. He'd rather lead off with Garcia.
Just one of 2 lefties in the lineup tonight here for the Royals is Kyle Isbell.
He outguessed him the first time, left him looking at a fastball that had pretty much the entire plate.
Chopper to the right side as Mydroth, the casual flip. That'll do it for this top of the 4th. Anthony Kay looking strong.
Follow our Sox at ChicagoSportsNetwork.com, presented by Nationwide Insurance Agent Jeff Vukovich. Get to enjoy knowing the Vuk as much as you do the jingle at JeffVuk.com, because Nationwide is on your side.
It was 62 degrees for first pitch as the temperature's dropping here in Chicago.
And not so much 62 anymore.
But we are expecting potentially in the 80s for the series coming up this weekend against the Cubs. Still waiting to put away the winter jacket here in May.
Don't put it away quite yet.
Derek Hill said not only is everybody selfless on this team, everyone feels like they can be themselves in a clubhouse and a culture that was created by Will Venable. Said one of the best things that Will has done for this team is just the way he communicates with everyone. Makes it very clear what his expectations are, what the coaching staff, what the front office expectations are. And he said as a player, when you understand that, you can just go out and do your job. In the air down the right field line, it is Thomas. And he makes the catch to start this home half of the 4th.
That one drifted back into fair territory.
Luis Angel Acuna gets the start at short. A ground out his first time up. Came over to the White Sox as part of the trade by the Mets and the Luis Robert Jr. trade. Started 8 of the first 9 games for the White Sox this season. But ever since April 6th has a 130 batting average. This is just his 3rd start here in the month of May. When he will line this one into left field, Acuna, a 1-out single.
Acuna normally a very good base stealer. He gets a slider there. It's over the middle of the plate, drills it into left field. So now he's aboard. He's 6 for 7 in stolen base opportunities. What he has to be aware of is the pickoff move by Bubic.
Will told us that Acuna has been working really hard because he understands the situation that he is in. He's a very useful utility man now. We'll see him play short, and especially his speed in situations like this now on the base paths.
Kelnick is one of the few left-handers that gets good swings against Bubic.
Stolen base for Acuna.
You don't see a lot of 3-0 steals, and Bubic doesn't think he's going, and he was off to the races. Perez does a nice job of getting the ball there, but you see the hand in ahead of the tag. So he's in scoring position now, 7 for 8 in stolen bases.
Bouncer up the middle. Bobby Witt Jr. will go to first with it, as Acuna advances to third with now 2 outs.
Without that stolen base, it's a double play and out of the inning. As it is, Bubic has to make some more pitches, and he's already in the high 70s.
We see Michael Garcia putting his arm around Acuna. That's because they are cousins. They are related. As Garcia now quickly gets back to his position at third.
Let him talk a little more. Cover the bag.
How's your family doing?
Yeah, great.
Top of the order for Chase Mydroth. Lines this one off the mound and under the glove of Lofton. Acuna, he will score. Sox make it a 5-1 game here in this fourth. RBI single for Chase Mydroth.
That puts him in double digits as far as runs batted in, and he takes it right back up the middle. The high bounce off the mound, could not keep it in the infield. And Chase having a good night.
Tonight is a perfect example of just how many guys are contributing in this lineup right now. Randall Grichuk has provided 4 runs. Chase Mydroth has now driven in the 5th.
And you have Acuna as a table setter with a stolen base that put him in scoring position.
If Acuna can find a way to get on, his speed just creates all kind of havoc. Oh, 2 here to Vargas. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Sox get a run and lead it 5-1. White Sox with a 5-1 lead over the Royals. We start this 5th inning. This half inning is brought to you by St. Xavier University.
You never have too many add-on runs. You take a relatively early lead coming back from a deficit and just keep adding on, and that's what the Sox are doing. This becomes a pretty tough inning for Anthony because he's got to go back to the top of the order.
So we talked about Garcia, cousins with Luis Angel Acuna and Ronald Acuna. One of 9 in his family to play in Major League Baseball. That is quite the bloodline.
Well, if you could buy futures on that family, you'd be in good shape.
Third time up for Michael Garcia. 1 for 2 tonight. On the ground to Acuna. And Garcia is retired to start this 5th inning. Anthony Kay has done a really nice job. Just 2 hard hit balls so far from this Royals lineup tonight.
Well, I think, John, you mentioned it early. He didn't look comfortable on the mound. He didn't have his rhythm. He didn't have a whole lot going for him and couldn't hit the inside corner with the fastball. Since then, things have gotten very good for him, and he's got a 4-run lead. Now you got to be a strike thrower as he's facing one of the toughest guys around.
His rhythm is also a little crisper, just a little quicker on the mound.
I think you feel much more comfortable and you're a whole lot looser. And right now he's still throwing a lot of strikes. He has discovered one thing, and that is when he wants to go and get Witt out, he's been going inside to tie him up.
Talked about the speed of Acuna, and Bobby Witt Jr. is a guy who can match him step for step. Saturday hit his second career inside the park home run, and it was on a ground ball down the right field line. It was just unbelievable. He went from home to home in 12.13 seconds. He was flying around the bases.
There's not many faster, and he's getting instant acceleration as a base stealer. That's why it's so hard to get him out.
Take a look at this inside the park home run on Saturday by Bobby Witt Jr. Gets away in right field, and he is off to the races.
Well, we know that's the trickiest part of the ballpark are the corners, and if you're not familiar with it, and the road team usually isn't, you get bounces like that.
It was the fourth fastest time since the StatCast started tracking that back in 2015. 12.13 seconds.
Pretty good, but he took a bit to knock his helmet off around third.
He's got to work on his form a little bit.
Yeah, I think he could pick up a few ticks if he could just master that helmet flip.
Three-two pitch here from Kay. Pitch number 74 here tonight. Inside, and it's ball 4.
Sox fans, 160 games on Chicago Sports Network means you won't miss a moment this season. Your home for White Sox baseball. You can stream every game, plus pre- and post-game coverage with Chuck and Ozzy, all on the CHSN app. Start your 7-day free trial today at subscribe.chsn.com. Chicago Sports Network, full stream ahead.
Lane Thomas drove in the only run of the game for the Royals tonight. His sac fly RBI in the first inning. Now Kay keeping an eye on Bobby Witt Jr. at first, as he stole second base back in the first inning. Two. One away here in this fifth. White Sox have done a really nice job to slow down the momentum of the Royals. Started the month with a 5-game win streak, but Kansas City has now lost 5 of their last 7 as the White Sox are looking for the 3-game sweep here tonight.
Bullpen up and going for Kansas City. We saw Avila in the first game of the series, and he looks the same tonight.
Kay will go to first. Well, we heard from Brooke earlier in the game that the White Sox are looking for some depth tonight here from Anthony Kay. This will be pitch number 80 in this ball game, trying to go deeper. It was 0-2, and the count is now run full. With the big hitting Salvador Perez waiting on deck. On a line into center field as Hill will get it back in. Bobby Witt Jr. stops at second. It is time now for a message from Ankin Law.
Howard, my husband fell at a construction site. I knew it wasn't safe.
At Ankin Law, we're one of the largest filers of workers' compensation claims in the state. If you've been hurt on the job, in a car accident, or suffered a medical mistake, call 312-6-million.
This was the inning last time out that Anthony had a few problems, and the pen is starting to get loose.
Salvador Perez comes up empty with that first swing. A double steal as the pitch is now fouled away.
In a situation like that, if you happen to be catching as Caro is, you're not going to go after Witt. Number one, he's too fast. You get too big a jump at second base. This is when you go after the trailer. In this case, Thomas at first. You watch it here. You can't get Witt, but you might have a shot at second base if the ball is not fouled away.
As a youngster, Salvador Perez was actually an infielder. And it wasn't until 2006 when he went to a MLB tryout that one of the scouts said, you know, why don't you take a look behind the plate, see what you look like. Got signed on the spot. The Royals gave him a $65,000 signing bonus, and he gave the entire check to his mother.
That's a good plan usually. He was young enough where she kept on feeding him for a while. He grew out of shortstop.
2 balls, 2 strikes. On the ground on the left side, Vargas goes to second. My drop throw to first. Double play turned. Sox flashing the leather on emo night.
It's our Steinhafels double play. Steinhafels donates $200 to Special Spaces Illinois for every double play. Double plays that make a difference. And the difference in that one, the lead stays the same after 5 full innings for Anthony Kay.
We were talking in the break and you noticed something about the double steal as a new pitcher comes on here.
Yeah, when you're going really well, you have a double steal that for sure is going to be a double steal. You're not going to be able to get Witt. And then the next guy comes up, grounds into a double play, which wouldn't have been possible had Salvi not fouled off the ball. So they're catching a few breaks and making the most of each and every one. And Avila comes in the ball game for the second time in the series.
It's a subtle thing, but second and third with the speed, Bobby Witt Jr. at third, things could go very differently.
And they certainly might have picked up a run in that situation. So as it turns out, they didn't, which is really good. The 4-run lead stays in place and nobody up in the pen, so they're going to run Anthony out there.
Call balls being challenged by the catcher.
So Salvador Perez will challenge. ABS powered by T-Mobile.
Call's confirmed.
By the slightest of margin, But Kansas City does lose a challenge.
Vila's fastball, the last time we saw him, did a whole lot of that, which almost looks like a cutter inside, but has the velocity of a fastball.
Munetaka Murakami already with 2 walks tonight.
Well, this is where
his third.
Yeah, no, this is where he's thinking about leaning back and getting a whole lot of this one.
Three walks for Murakami. The big slugger has had a lot of patience at the plate tonight.
Randall Grichuk, who comes up, it's his night tonight. 4 driven in and 2 at bats.
So Perez wants to have a word with the new pitcher. Bottom of the 5th. This half inning is brought to you by Davis Law. About the White Sox getting to 500 for the first time this late in the season since 2022, when they ended the season 81 and 81.
Well, let's hope it's a little better than that. But if it is, it will be a somewhat remarkable year.
Got to thank the fans for all the love, the support, the energy. We feel it in the booth. The players feel it in the dugout. This city is going to be rocking this weekend. On the ground on the left side, it is gloved by Garcia, goes to second for 1, and a double play is turned.
Garcia wide of the bag, and then it's pretty easy after that. Lofton with a quick turn, and the double play complete.
Carroll grounds this one to second. A quick 5th inning, but the Sox a 4-run lead. Top of the 6th we go. White Sox up 5-1. This half inning is brought to you by Elgin Hyundai. We are hoping we won't have to wear as many layers. See you around Chicago coming up soon.
I think the weekend looks pretty good temperature wise. And with the pen up and going now, Anthony's still out there and probably will be through Pasquantino, you would expect.
It'll be Lofton leading it off with Pasquantino waiting on deck. As Anthony Kay starts this inning, 87 pitches.
Tyler Davis throwing in the pen. We saw him last night for an inning and 2/3.
Lofton is 0 for 1. He was hit by a pitch his first time up. It's a charge into this one. Back into left center. And Grichuk makes the catch. First out here in this 6th inning. Let's go to Connor.
The night is done for Kyle Teal in Charlotte. He caught 7 innings for the Charlotte Knights in his 3rd rehab game. 1 for 4 with a single. He's got 3 hits in 12 tries. Oh, Braden Montgomery, fellas, 3 for 4 tonight. A nice night for Braden Montgomery. He was just called up AAA about a week ago.
Kyle Teal is certainly making progress. Will Venable said it was important for him to get back behind the plate tonight and catch. They're trying to work him up 7 innings and hopefully get him back here to Chicago soon. Pasquantino pops it up, and as Vargas getting underneath, and there's 2 away.
Well, Will Venable would love to see Anthony Kay get out of this one, because he will have gotten the 18 outs we talked about in that 1st inning after you give up back-to-back base hits to Garcia and Witt, and then the sacrifice fly, along with hitting a guy. You don't think a guy's going to go 6. But for Anthony, he's righted the ship and eating up some precious outs on a night when the bullpen is a little taxed.
Up over 90 pitches now. And you said if he goes 6, the White Sox will be dancing in the streets.
And they certainly would be exceptionally happy with that. And you see a great third, 10 pitches. Right now, only 5 this inning.
Marte lines this one to center field, and it's going to fall in front of Hill with 2 outs here in this 6th inning.
So a couple of guys in this inning have hit the ball very hard. It's a 4-seamer that has actually a good location, but Marte just a better hitter.
Isaac Collins 0 for 1. He was also hit by a pitch tonight. Pops it up. It is Acuna waiting on it. A 7-pitch inning for Anthony Kay. Steve, get those dancing shoes on.
It's a job well done for Anthony. He fights his way through 18 outs and most likely will turn. This game is brought to you by Marquette Bank. Marquette Bank is Chicagoland's trusted neighborhood bank and home lender. So level up your banking with Marquette Bank at emarquettebank.com. Marquette Bank, love where you bank.
Tell you what else we're loving right now. This White Sox offense right now. A 5-1 lead here in the bottom of the 6th.
Well, they're playing so well it can really choke you up.
They can. Also an oatmeal raisin cookie.
That can do it also. They're very good.
A little mid-game snack.
It can happen. You got to keep your energy up.
Got to do it. Keep up with this team. 0-2 to Benny.
Vila throws some heavy sinkers, which is why he throws a lot of ground balls, and that makes him very valuable out of the bullpen.
Benintendi was able to hold up that swing there. Ball 2. White Sox are looking to make it 5 wins in a row tonight. That would be the 2nd time they would pull that off this season. Over the past 3 seasons, the White Sox have only had 2 total win streaks of 5 or more games. Any way you put it, this is a better team this year than we have seen in the last few years.
And they're getting contributions from all 26 guys they have on the roster. It's not the same guys every night. Tonight, Randall Grichuk with a big night.
Benintendi in the air to center field as Isbell trots back to make the catch. 1 down to start this home half of the 6th inning. This half inning, it is brought to you by Prevagen. Take a look at some of the scores around Major League Baseball. Braves are looking for the sweep against the Cubbies, but the Northsiders have a 2-0 lead over Atlanta. That game is now in the bottom of the 8th inning.
That was Chris Sale going for Atlanta, but the Braves couldn't score to this point.
Can't be too mad at the Braves. They've beaten up on the Cubs first few games of the series.
They're a very strong baseball team in Atlanta. They've done it largely this season without Acuna, who's one of their vital offensive cogs.
Speaking of beating up, the Reds with a 15-1 win over the Nationals today. My goodness.
Kyle Schwarber hit another home run. That's his 18th. Phillies leading the Red Sox 3-0. That game in the bottom of the 8th.
0-2 pitch. All of a sudden, maybe the Mets are starting to figure some things out. A 9-4 win over the Tigers.
As long as they figure it out against the Tigers, all is well.
It does feel like it's going to be a fun race in the division this season, as the AL Central very much up for grabs right now.
Well, the Sox tied in the loss column with the Guardians. They're a game and a half back overall. Every team still believes they're in it, and there's a long way to go.
It was interesting. Will Venable was asked about the division earlier this week, and he said, I couldn't tell you. We haven't seen them. We've only seen the Royals so far this season. 3-2.
After this one, we know about the Crosstown Classic. Kansas City will go to St. Louis, which is basically their Crosstown Classic, and they're going to go head to head.
Good at bat by Derek Hill. So some speed on it first with one away.
Tomorrow, experience the Crosstown Series like never before on the CHSN app. Watch every pitch live from behind home plate using the front row seat feature. Plus, follow the special Moon 8 Cam for extra access all series. It's available on the web, iOS, and Android. Chicago Sports Network, full stream ahead.
Miguel Vargas will be the player mic'd up for us tomorrow night as part of Friday Night All Access.
That'll be interesting with the third baseman being mic'd up, because there'll be conversations with the coach. There might be some conversations with the umpire. Get to talk to a lot of people if you're a third baseman, not so much a center fielder.
I hope we get to hear some barking, because that means the White Sox will have done something good. Miguel Vargas, that is his celebration so far this season. Say it's more like a chihuahua.
A large chihuahua.
Derek Hill takes off, and a stolen base here in this 6th inning.
This is really what makes Derek Hill so valuable on this team, because he can be inserted late for defense, certainly at all 3 positions. He can steal a base for you when he has to, and we've seen that he can hit some critical home runs. So he steals that one rather easily, and now he's in scoring position.
Acuna did go around there, a strikeout for out number 2. All right, let's see what she has. All right, a little higher. Maybe on the bounce we can get it.
It counts. Counts on the bounce.
If you're on the fence about bringing the family out to the ballpark this weekend, go ahead, bring them all out. There's so many family activities for the kids to get involved in. There's going to be so much positive energy here at the ballpark. It is going to be a fun atmosphere. I'm looking forward to the tailgating. Hopefully the weather holds up tomorrow. If not, I'm going to be out there in Lot B on Saturday. I'm going to make my way around. I want to see some good food and some good vibes, because it's a different experience here on the South Side.
How about some helmet nachos? They look really good, and you can go to bat and have protection.
One ball, 2 strikes.
Jen Powell on the appeal says nope, You get to see at least one more.
Runner takes off, but a swing and a miss will end this 6th inning. Sox with a 4-run lead. Welcome back. StatCast 3D is powered by Google Cloud. We take a look at Anthony Kay and his swing and misses tonight.
A lot of different pitches. A four-seamer 3 times, a sweeper 3 times, and then 1 each for the cutter, the change, and the sinker. And Anthony's had quite a night. So much so that he's still out there, most likely just to face Isbell. And then you bring in the right-hander for the top, Garcia and Witt and Thomas.
What a performance tonight from Anthony Kay. Spent his last 2 seasons playing in Japan. This is his longest outing since returning to Major League Baseball this season.
And if you're talking about timing being everything, this was an outing that he had to go deeper in the ball game because the bullpen has been used. There are certain guys at the back end that Will didn't want to use tonight. And Anthony is looking for out number 19 before he then turns it over to the pen.
His season high is 100 pitches this year. This one is sent to the gap in left center field. And it's going to roll all the way to the wall. Isbell, he is looking for 3. As Acuna will not make the throw. A triple to start this 7th inning.
That's going to be it. As Anthony will depart, Isbell gets a hold of a breaking ball. It's out over the plate, and they couldn't have thrown out there any better as it splits the gap and keeps on going. So 6+ strong, and a nice ovation for Anthony Kay, well deserved, as we'll step out and we'll be back.
Are you ready for your winning moment? Find it at Wind Creek Chicago Southland, where the action never stops. Play the hottest table games, enjoy the newest slots, and celebrate big jackpots. At Wind Creek, there's a win waiting for you around every corner. So the night is done for Anthony Kay, new pitcher on the mound.
Tyler Davis comes on for the 8th time, the ERA of 4.5, and he goes right to the top of the order.
Inside corner, and Garcia is going to challenge that call.
Pitcher's call a strike. The bat is challenging.
ABS powered by T-Mobile.
There's a ball. Kansas City retains their challenge.
Very close, but it was out of the zone.
Good breaking ball, but did not get the swing. John Tumpane on the call at first.
Will's going to concede the run to get the out at this point. Infield back at all 4 positions.
Chopper over the middle, and Acuna will get to it from the grass, makes the throw in time. As the run does score, it's now a 5-2 ball game here in the 7th.
That was a very good play. Acuna showed good range, and an off-balance throw got there in time to get a guy who can run. Garcia's speedy. The key is getting it away quickly, and Luis Angel was able to do just that.
That is the first inherited runner that Tyler Davis has allowed to score. But the White Sox, to your point, trading an out for a run here late in the ball game.
Yeah, but if they're playing the infield in there to cut off the run, that ball's in center field and you have more problems.
Bobby Witt Jr. shoots this one to right center. Hill with the grab. Let's go to Brooke.
Yeah, guys, Tyler Davis was the middle of celebration after picking up his first career win last night. The guys stuffed him in a shopping cart in the shower, covered him with milk and condiments, you know, the usual baseball traditions. But Tyler told me, you know, this opportunity with the White Sox has really given him a lot of confidence. He said his fastball has played well up here and helped him show he belongs. And he credits pitching coach Zach Bove for just constantly reinforcing that message, saying, hey, trust your stuff. You're good enough to be here.
Rick Scott Merkin wrote about it in his post-game article yesterday on MLB.com about how there was a little extra commotion inside the clubhouse after that win for the White Sox, making it 4 in a row, as Jack Caglione will pinch hit here with 2 outs in the 7th. His team is playing loose. They are having fun. And because of it, the White Sox are playing better baseball. Breaking ball sent high in the air to center field. Hill comes in, and that'll do it for the 7th. White Sox with a 3-run lead. It's time to stretch here on the South Side.
Let's get caught up with some news and notes tonight. The Reds beat the Nats 15-1. JJ had a day and a half for the Reds, a bunch of RBI. He's got his RPS up to 1210 in 15 games. Cal Rowley's on the injured list for the first time in his career. It's an oblique issue. He was dealing with that while here playing the White Sox. He did just snap an 0 for 38 not recently. Shohei Ohtani has had a tough month, batting just 150. Still pitching fine. He's got 2 days off for the first time as a Dodger. John, Steve, back to you.
All right, thank you so much. New pitcher on the mound for the Royals.
Alex Lang, we saw him in the ball game last night, on for the 18th time, his ERA of 5.5.
Jack Caglione, we just saw a pinch hit, will stay in the game, and he will play right field for the Royals as we start this home half of the 7th. Feels like no matter where you put Chase Meidroth in the lineup, with the way he's swinging the bat, he is just producing for this White Sox team.
And the one thing you didn't want him to do, now that he has hit a couple of home runs, is start thinking about hitting home runs.
Smoked that one as Lang had to get out of the way. A single to start the 7th.
Well, Chase is a table setter regardless of where he is. However, he's one with the ability to drive in some runs if he gets the opportunity. Here he's just looking to get on and takes a fastball away, drives it right back through the middle. That's a run that the Sox would dearly love to score, as they gave up one the top half of the inning, trying to get one back here in the bottom half.
On the count here to Miguel Vargas, as the White Sox look to get that run back that was scored in the top half of this inning. On the ground, Michael Garcia starts it off for one. A 5-4-3 double play is turned. Test your luck during every home White Sox game this season. The Sox Split 50-50 raffle. Tickets are on sale until the end of the 9th inning. You can play now at whitesox.com/Sox Split. It is valid for Illinois residents 18 and over. Three walks tonight for Murakami.
Wind has shifted a touch. It's blowing out toward right field. I don't particularly care for that, especially coming on the heels of Lang hitting Antonacci last night. Sean Newcomb loosening up in the pen.
One ball, 2 strikes. Chopper to the right side. Lofton backing up for the big hop. A quick 7th inning. We will go to the 8th. It is time for the memorable moments presented by Prevagen.
6th inning, Anthony Kay needs some quick outs, and he was able to do just that. He did it on 7 pitches, all very effective. What an outing it was for him. Kept the Sox out of the bullpen for as long as he possibly could, and gave Will exactly what he wanted, a lengthy outing before turning it over to the pen. Sean Newcomb comes out for the 19th time. His ERA a tick over 3. He's been very good out of the pen. We did see him last night also, and you would think he'd be on for maybe 1 inning.
It'll be 4, 5, 6 in the Royals lineup to start this 8th inning. Salvador Perez 1 for 3 tonight, a single coming back in the 3rd inning. So it is official. The Cubs have now beat the Braves 2-0. As this one is lined into left field, a single for Perez to start this 8th. That means if the score holds, White Sox would go to 5 wins in a row. That would be the hottest team in Major League Baseball since the Braves, their 4-game win streak is over. Still got 6 more outs to go here tonight. And Lofton wants to challenge this.
Ball strike is being challenged by the batter.
ABS powered by T-Mobile.
It's out of the zone.
They retain.
So the Royals will hold on to their final challenge. Goes off the glove of Newcomb. My drop is only played at first, off to Karam, and it is there in time, 1 away.
Heads up play by Chase because he did only have the 1 play. It looked like it could have been a double play. Mydroth now goes to first base, and Sean Newcomb was pointing to first the whole time, knowing there was no out at second.
So Matt Quatrera came out and wanted to have a word with the crew chief, Chris Conroy, at second. Not sure what that was about. Pasquantino, this one into center field as Derek Hill makes the catch for out number 2. It is time now for the GovX Hero of the Game.
The Chicago White Sox and GovX are proud to honor our hero of the game. Tonight we pay tribute to Major Michael Volkert of the United States Army.
Always love celebrating the GovX Hero of the Game here tonight. So a warning was just issued to Newcomb from John Tumpain. It looks like he came to a set before the batter was in the box.
You have to give the hitter a chance to at least be looking at you and ready to accept the pitch.
Newcomb feeling good. He's trying to work quick here in this 8th inning. when you're firing strikes, just get me the ball back.
Well, that's really the catcher's responsibility, is when you get a pitcher in good rhythm, get him the ball as quickly as possible. Let the pitcher determine the rhythm.
Center field. It is Hill again. Nicely done, Sean Newcomb. This bullpen is getting stronger and stronger. We go to the bottom of the 8th.
Time now for the Toyota Let's Go Places upcoming schedule, and it's the series we've been waiting for quite some time. Cubs come to town over the weekend, and then it's on to Seattle and San Francisco. A new pitcher in the ball game, Lucas Erceg, on for the 18th time, a ERA of .331. Been a very dependable arm out of the Royals pen for some time now.
Pinch hitter for the Sox will be Sam Antonacci to lead off this home half of the 8th inning. Antonacci swings at the first one, and it slices underneath the glove of Collins. Unable to make the diving play.
He's hurt at second.
As Antonacci will end up at second.
Looked to me like he was hobbling in between first and second, and they want to take a look at him. He just came off the bench, slices this ball away from Collins. It's a good effort, but he comes up short. And now we'll take a look right here. Right there. Looks like a hamstring grabs him. And now they're going to have a word with him.
He's strapping on the oven mitt, which tells you he wants to stay in this game. And he's going to test the wheels to see if he can still run the bases.
We can only hope it's just a cramp. I mean, that can happen too, because he has been sitting around for today, and if it's just a cramp, everybody's going to breathe a sigh of relief. But when I saw him pull up between first and second, but the last thing that this team needs is a hamstring issue again. Watch it again here. He might have just stepped wrong at the bag, and there's the cramp, but he stays in the game.
We don't know what it is, so we're not going to speculate, but good to see that he is a gamer after testing the wheels, because that was scary.
Yeah, that's for sure.
A double to start this bottom of the 8th inning, as Edgar Caro steps in 0 for 3 here tonight.
Edgar's job is easy here. He's got to hit the ball to the right side. One way or the other, you got to move Antonacci to third.
1-1. One of the things Edgar Caro identified this week working with his personal hitting coach is that he's really tense in the box, and he carries that in his shoulders. So he's trying to move his hands around a little more to relax his whole body, because it feels like the tenseness in his body is causing his swing and the timing to just be off this season. See if he can move Antonacci over to third. Nobody out here in this 8th inning. 2-2.
Jordan Hicks will start getting ready soon.
Caro goes down swinging, and there's out number 1. It is time to check in and find out what's coming up on the White Sox postgame live.
We're on. Hey, Randall Grichuk has driven in 4 of the White Sox 5 runs here tonight. What have you thought?
You know, the funny thing about all this, everybody is just key to the ball club, contribute big time to them to win.
All right, we'll see you on the post-game show. We hope it's a winning edition. Back to you guys.
On the ground out to the right side, Antonacci moves on to third. He's 90 feet away from another insurance run. be up to Derek Hill to plate him. This will take it out of a save situation. However, the Sox don't care about that. They do care about as much of a lead as they can garner.
Quickly 0-2 the count here to Derek Hill. As the White Sox looking to increase the 3-run lead here in this 8th. Up and in. Off the edge, ball 2 here to Hill.
Ursig was walking off the mound like that was an automatic strike. Maybe a few years ago, not so much now.
Especially not with 2 challenges the White Sox have.
No.
Ground ball through the middle, and Derek Hill pumps his fist because he comes through here in the 8th. The Sox make it a 6-2 lead as Antonacci scores. Big insurance run late.
Nothing hitters like better than after they get one up and in to do a little damage. There's a slider that just settles right over the middle of the plate. Hill takes it right back up the middle. And it's back to a 4-run lead. And how about that type of execution? Get him over, get him in, put up the insurance run.
The first 2 games have ended by a final score of 6-5. We hope it doesn't get interesting in the 9th tonight.
Not that interesting.
Cooney got on in the 4th, single, stole second, and would come around to score. And we take a look at the balanced offense so far this series for the White Sox. 12 different players have scored, 8 have driven in a run, and 5 have gone deep.
Big team effort.
Derek Hill just takes off. Ursig notices. Now he's in a rundown. As Derek Hill still alive, but he will be tagged out by Bobby Witt Jr. to end this 8th inning. Sox get another run, lead at 6-2. Get out!
He got a breaking ball up and out over the plate, and bye-bye. So far, it's Grichuk night at the ballpark. Got to feel pretty happy about that. 4 runs driven in.
Randall Grichuk leading the Royals by himself. He drove in 4. He has been replaced tonight as Newcomb stays on the mound to start this 9th inning. A little different defensive alignment in the outfield right now to start this 9th as Collins 8-9-1 to the plate here for the Royals. So Derek Hill moves to left, and Tristan Peters enters the game. He will play center. Two-one. Just a little high. 3 balls and a strike to count here to Isaac Collins. To the ground, and is Vargas off the big hop. 1 away to start this 9th inning.
And the way this game usually works, and we're very happy that it's a 4-run lead instead of a 3-run lead, but if you go 1, 2, 3 this inning, you see Bobby Witt the next time we see Kansas City. If not, he comes into play, and he can't come into play representing the tying run.
Kyle Isbell tripled, and he would come around to score his last time up in the 7th inning.
That was the last hitter that Anthony Kay faced, who went 6 1/3 with a run on 6 hits. And Anthony was outstanding.
Steve, that's 3 starts in a row now for Kay.
Being challenged by the catcher.
So Edgar Quero will challenge. ABS powered by T-Mobile.
Call's confirmed. Chicago has 1 remaining.
Had 2.
Might as well empty the bag because you don't get any carryovers.
There's strike 2.
A situation like this would probably happen on the bench as Will or Zach Bove went out and talked with Newcomb and said, do you have anything left? Can you give me another one? And obviously he's feeling pretty good, so here he is.
Oh, he's feeling real good. Out number 2 here in the 9th.
Looks at a fastball on the corner at the knees. A perfect pitcher's pitch.
Crowd of almost 15,000 tonight here at Rate Field, rising to their feet. Once again, another great effort by this White Sox squad. 1 out to go here in the 9th. And there's strike 2 to Michael Garcia. Newcomb, 0-2. Two outs here in this 9th inning.
Didn't miss by much, just down a touch.
Two from Newcomb, and slashed out of play. On a night where the White Sox needed some length from their starter, Kay went 6+. Handed over to Tyler Davis. Now Sean Newcomb trying to finish it off. 2-2. One strike away from ending it. Grounder up the middle, backhanded, my draw throws, ball game. White Sox sweep the Royals and have now won 5 in a row. White Sox are the hottest team in Major League Baseball right now.
It was one of these days where it was another guy, Randall Grichuk, who came through. The big 3 were not producing home runs, but everybody contributed to this one. And Anthony Kay, the man of the hour, went 6+, threw the ball exceptionally well to set the stage, and the Pensman came in to put it away. Big one tomorrow. Get your rest, and I'm looking forward to the weekend.
Oh, we are fired up. Bring them to the south side because the White Sox are hot right now. For Brooke Fletcher, Connor McKnight, Steve Stone, I'm John Schriffen. Thank you so much for spending your night with us. It's a final. White Sox win it 6-2. It is time now to send it to White Sox postgame live, presented by Yingling. Chuck, Ozzie, it's all yours. It's all yours. It's all yours.
Ozzie Guillen, how about the White Sox? They sweep the Royals. They're over 500. They've got a 5-game winning streak. This has been fun to watch.
It made me feel a little bit excited about it just because they sweep them.
Yeah.
How many times they sweep the White Sox?
Well, how many times the Royals sweep the White Sox? Well, I can just tell you the last two seasons before this one, the White Sox were 4-22 against them. They're 5-2 against the Royals this year.
Another team effort. There was K. He went out and pitched great game when the most needed. What I say that because we will say early in the game, back in the bullpen, we really a little bit short. And the bullpen went out and did a tremendous job. That's what I say. What a team effort once again.
Well, the White Sox are game over 500. First time since 2022. That was the end of an era. This is the beginning of a new one. We're coming right back.